on creativity, innovation, leading to development.
Mrs. Bolanle Austin Peters, a lawyer, a public speaker on entrepreneurship, and the founder, Terra Culture. Her choice topic on creativity and innovation leading to development fits within her scope and venture.
I'm the man.
She insists there's a missing link to a very bright economy in Nigeria, which is poor human resource.
And everybody got so excited that at a point, Nigeria said that their problem was not having money, but how to spend money. At that same time, round about the same time, Norway found oil. Today, Norway has savings in excess of billions of dollars in their sovereign wealth fund. We have nothing to show for it. So the analogy that I draw always is that Nigeria is like a spoiled child of a rich parent. We run a system of government, the federal system, which is not a bad thing in itself. But the fact of the matter is it also bred a form of dependency in us as a group. So states stop thinking. If they don't get their federal allocation, nothing happens in their states. So when federal government grinds to a halt, everybody begins to panic because there is no money coming in. Prior to oil, these states did exist. Am I correct? So what went wrong? Everybody just stopped thinking. Because we had free money, so therefore we stopped thinking as people and we could not engage our minds any further. Now, the creative mind is singularly the most important tool in any nation. And when we talk about creativity, we're talking about the ability to create something new. You know, something completely new from your environment, from your situation. You look at it and you bring it into reality. So anybody who is capable of looking at the environment and asking themselves, what can I bring to the table? How can I change this conversation and bring something to fruition is a creative being.
While in office, he served as the chairman board of security.
Former governor of Anambra State, Dr. Pt.2, takes the podium. He starts his speech with statistical analysis of Nigeria's revenue, stating that for year 2016, Nigeria's expected revenue is 7.2 trillion naira, while expected expenditure is 11.4 trillion naira.
I didn't know it's a place where politicians run into trouble. We have a country.
He wonders how the deficit will be covered, especially in the current recession status of the economy.
The federal government provided for debt servicing 38% of their budget, of the revenue, 38% to service the debt. Because the revenue they are getting is not enough, half of the year they use 51% to service the debt and they are borrowing more. In a recession, the only way to come out of recession is to do what? Spend for growth. And you can only spend for growth either from savings or from borrowing. And since we don't have savings, you've heard it, how our savings were squandered, whether it's excess crude or anything, by the governors, everybody was right. The money is gone. But now, in order to spend, we need to borrow. And there's nothing wrong in borrowing, but the question is, what are you borrowing for? Are you borrowing for consumption? Or are you borrowing for production? The fear is that we are borrowing for consumption, because we can't see what we used the past borrowing or what we sold before for, and that is the crisis we face. And that is the critical thing everybody has to watch. When you borrow for consumption, when you have no savings, you're heading for a disaster. So when you see people like me say when they wanted to give money to governors and say bailout, I was a governor, I should be supporting it. But I disagreed. I said, no, before we give them the money, Let them tell us what they are doing, because it is wrong for us to pay a bill of a drunk while he's still in the bar. He has to come out of the bar first, and he will settle what he has drunk before.
Dr. Peter Obi's speech borders on cutting the cost of governance as he gives an expose of spendings during his reign as the governor in the Southeast state.
When I came to office, my first 4 trips to Abuja, I traveled with over 30 people. Over 30. Everybody have a title to be in the plane. Everybody have a title to do this. So, wait a minute. I'm the only person invited to Abuja. I pay for 30 people who have no reason to be in Abuja. They constitute a problem to the traveling public. They follow me to Abuja. I'm the one who is going to go to a meeting. Because they idle in a hotel, they eat more. So I have a lot of bills to pay. In the end, every trip was costing me over 10 million. One trip. And at times I do this 4 or 5 times in a month. So after about the 3rd or 4th trip, I sat down and said, I want you to write name of everybody from me and tell me why and what is the purpose of this person going to be in Abuja. And what did they do? What happened? What did they do? When they finished, I found out the only person that needs to go to Abuja is me. So I said to them, leave it, because some of you must have heard Pt.2 travels alone. No, because the other people, I don't need them in Abuja. In 2004, the Anambra Governor's House was burnt, the Governor's Lodge, as well as the Government House. Coincidentally, in 2006 when I started, the budget to repair the Government House was 298 million. To repair the Governor's Lodge was 481 million. These are the 2 reasons why I was impeached. The third was saving money without permission. And I said to them, wait a minute. I repaired everything in the Government House, which is Governor's office. I repaired everything with 43,200,000. The only thing I didn't buy new was furniture. Because there's a table used by one of my predecessors that was kept somewhere, and they say it's old. But I called the man, the furniture man, I said, if you wipe this seat, who deep in it? I just want to say you're right. Where's it to buy new one? Why are we buying new one? The Governor's Lodge. The Governor's Lodge, I want you to tell, I'm no longer the governor, so these are things you can verify. The Governor's Lodge, which was a budget of 486 million, I repaired everything with 81,700,000.
You're welcome, sir.
Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka rounds up speeches at the platform, centering talks on healing a traumatized nation.
Ever since generations, they've been saying it will change, that it will change, it will change, it will change, but we never see the change.
The Reverend Bishop calls for a national vision to take Nigeria from where it is to where it ought to be among the Committee of Nations.
Whatever. But you lose sensation.
He notes the need for the expansion of frontiers of knowledge for Nigeria to get out of her challenges.
But it was a reality.
The cleric maintains that the fight against corruption is beyond mere verbal, moral, and exhortation.
Thank you so much, Bishop. Please, would ask that everyone stay still as the speakers are ushered out, please. Please stay where you are so the speakers are ushered out in an orderly fashion, please.